Sai Ram class, how are you all? I hope that you all are very fine. So, class, as we are in our third chapter, a trip to Bhopal, in this, all the students and their teacher were planning for a trip to Bhopal. And on this planning, their teacher came in a situation where they were confused that how much buses they will need. After all this confusion, they came to know that about 6 minibuses they have for all 210 students. And then their journey finally started. And then students came to know that they will go all over 70 kilometer to reach their destination to Bhopal, whereas they will be stopped in a place Bhimbetka, which is about 50 kilometer away from their starting position. Bhimbetka is a place full of cave and cave paintings. On the way to Bhimbetka, children can see Narmada river in their journey, in their path, and then when they were passing from Narmada river, children came to know that the Narmada is about 756.82 meter wide, because the bridge which built over Narmada is about 756.82 meter long. So, after all this discussion, they finally reached to Bhimbetka. And then children were very excited to see various paintings made around 10,000 years ago, in which there are deers, peoples, basins, and then people had a little activity of counting the number of deers, basins, and peoples. After they almost spent 1 hour in Bhimbetka, and then they had lunch time. And during lunch, all students get one orange, one banana, and 5 biscuits. And after their lunch, children had a small puzzle game in which they asked various kind of puzzles related to numbers. And now they were finally in their destination. They can see a small island in their place with lots of ducks in the lake, and they were creating very sweet noise, and people enjoy to give popcorn to ducks. After all this, now children are very excited for boating. Now the confusion is what kind of boat they will take for ride. So for this they had a chart of ticket price. Now there are about 4 kind of boats: double decker, paddle boat, motor boat, and oar boat, means boat with oars. Now all the boats have different ticket price and different trip time. For example, for double decker, the ticket price is of 30 rupees and trip time is of 45 minutes. Whereas for paddle boat, Ticket price is 15 and trip time is 30 minutes. Similarly for motorboat, ticket price is of 25 rupees and trip time is 20 minutes. And for boat with oars, the price is 15 rupees and the time is 45 minutes. So we can easily see that the cheapest ticket price is for paddle boat and the costliest is double decker. Whereas time duration for motorboat is least and time duration for double decker and boat with oar is most. Now let's see what kind of discussion children are having. So one is saying that four of us will take paddle boat and race with Gauri and her group. Whereas others say we will take motorboat. It will be costly but full of fun. So now let's see what exactly children will do. Now after all their discussions, Indra and Bhanu first went in a motorboat and then took oarboat. That means two girls, Indra and Bhanu, first went to motorboat and then they will went for the oarboat. So now the question is, how much did they pay for both the boats? And then we have to find that how much time did they get for both the rides. So let's check for its solution. Now we know that what are the ticket prices and trip time. So as we know that Indra and Bhanu went for motorboat and oarboat, that means these two. So for the total money they had to pay, we have to add the ticket price for motorboat and oarboat. But we have to keep in mind that they are two. So we have to multiply each price with 2. So let's see how it will done. Here we know that for motorboat Indra pay 25 rupees. Similarly Bhanu also pay 25 rupees. For oarboat Indra pay 15 and Bhanu also pay 15. That means in total Indra pay 40 rupees. Similarly Bhanu also paid 40 rupees. Therefore, in total, they had paid 80 rupees for both of them for both the rides. Now, let's check for their trip time. As we know that the trip time for motorboat is 20 minutes, whereas for 45 minutes it is for oarboat. Now they went together for both the boating, so we add single time for both the boats. That means total 65 minutes they had ride for both the boats. So our answer is they pay for both the boats is rupees 40 for each, that means rupees 80 in total. Whereas total time they get for boat ride is 65 minutes. Okay class, now let's check for another question. So the another question is, one group of children went for double decker trip. Okay, there is a group of children who went for double decker trip. Now they paid 450 in total. So we have to find that how many children actually went for double decker trip. So as we know that for one person ticket price is rupees 30 for double decker, and they had paid total 450 rupees. So we have to divide 450 with 30 to get the total number of children went for double decker trip. So let's try to have its solution. Now we know that price for one ticket for double decker is rupees 30 and group of children paid total 450 rupees. So, to find the number of children went for double decker trip, we have to divide 450 with 30. And when we divide them, we get answer 15. That means 15 children went for double decker trip. Okay class? Now let's check that how we divide them. We first multiply 30 with 1, we get 30. And when we subtract 30 from 45, we get remainder 15. Then we took that 0 to below and it will become 150. Now we know that 3 into 5 will be 15. So 30 into 5 will be 150. So we get no remainder, and that is why 15 is our answer. Now let's go for other questions. Next question is, which boat makes 2 trips in 1 hour? So we can easily see that they are asking that which boat exactly gives 2 trips for 1 hour. We all know that 1 hour is equals to 30, sorry, it's not 30. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. So we have to check that is there any boat having 60 minutes for total trip time? So it is not 60, it is exactly half of 60, it is less than half of 60, and it is also not 60. So we can say that if we see for this trip time, it is exactly half of 60 minutes. That means paddle boat can give exactly 2 trips in an hour. Let's see for its solution properly. So, see, paddle boat makes 2 trips in an hour. Why? Because its one trip is about 30 minutes of duration. So, if its one trip is of 30 duration, so its second trip is also of 30 minutes. So 30 will be 60 minutes, which is equals to 1 hour. Okay class? Now second is, which boat takes less than half an hour to complete a trip? Now we know that half an hour means 30 minutes, and they are asking for less than half an hour means less than 30 minutes. So let's check which boat trip time is less than 30 minutes. So we can easily see it is greater than 30, it is 30, it is also greater than 30, but this is less than 30. So we can say that the motorboat give less than half an hour in a trip. So our answer is motorboat takes less than half an hour to complete a trip because its trip time is 20 minutes only. Okay class? Now let's go for third question. So the question is, which boat gives them the most time taking the least money? Means we have to answer that which boat is giving them more ride time but in less money. So let's check in table. We know that only these two are giving the most time, but double decker is the costliest, but boat with oar is cheapest. So we can say that boat with oars can give more trip time in least money. So let's check for its answer. Now our answer is boat with oars give them 45 minutes in just 15 rupees. So it is not costly but gives most time. Now let's look for the next question. The question is, Javed went twice for boating. He paid total 40 rupees and boated for 50 minutes. So we have to give answer that in which two boats he had ride. So we have to look for that boats whose trip time will add to give 50 minutes and those ticket price will add to give rupees 40. So let's check in table. So we know that as we can say when we add both of them we have more than 50 minutes. When we add them we also get more than 50 minutes. But when we add these we get exactly 50 minutes. And let's check for their price. 15 plus 25 will give 40. That means these two boats are our answer for Javed trip. Now let's check for their answer. As we know that Javed paid total 40 rupees and boated for 50 minutes. So he boated on paddle boat and motor boat. Okay class. Now let's check for what happened next. After having lots of fun they had in lake and boating different kinds of rides. Now it's time to leave and get back to their school. Now they enjoyed their rides till 4 o'clock and then they start returning to their school. Now they will take 2 hours to reach in Hosangabad from where they came. Now their question is they should reach Hosangabad by which time? So as they had started their return at 4 p.m. added with 2 hour we will get 4 plus 2 is equals to 6. That means they will reach Hosangabad at 6 o'clock. Now we have few activity. It's practice time. So the first question is there are 4 very old cave paintings. So we have to mark that from all the fours which is the oldest. So first one is 4200 years old. This is 8500 years old, 1000 years old and 1300 years old. So we can easily see that C1 means 8500 years old cave painting is the oldest. Now let's check for second and third question. So in second question, they are saying that one bus can carry 48 children. So we have to answer that how many children can carry 3 buses. So let's check for its solution. So as we know that one bus can carry 48 children, so 3 buses can carry 48 into 3, that means 144 children. Now let's check for options. We have 100, 200 and 150. So we do not have 144 as option. So we will look for the closest one number. So we can easily see that 144 is closer to 150 as compared to 100 and 200. So our answer is C. Now next question is, which pair of numbers add to make more than 500? So we have to add all the 4 options to check that which pair gives us sum more than 500. So when we added them, we get the addition 393 for A part, 398 for C part, 513 for B part and 492 for D part. That means B is our answer for question 3. Now the next question is, what happened at what time? We have to place the correct time in front of correct event. So let's check for its answer. They had crossed Narmada bridge around 9:10 a.m. and then looked at Bhimbetka painting. As they reached Bhimbetka around 11, so they were there for about 1 hour. So they were looking at Bhimbetka painting around 11:30 am. And after that, when they were at petrol pump, so after starting their journey and crossed Narmada river, after crossing Narmada river, they were at petrol pump to refill 2 buses. So 9:30 is the time when they were at petrol pump. Now boating in the lake. So we all know that they were in the lake around 3 a.m. means at 4 they left the lake for going back to their school. So 3 is the time when they were at lake for boating. Had lunch. They had lunch after Bhimbetka. So they leave Bhimbetka around 12. So 12:30 is the time when they had lunch. Return to Hosangabad. We all know that they left the lake around 4 and they will be reached there after 2 hours. So they will be Hosangabad at 3 p.m. So class, this is it for today's class and for our chapter Trip to Bhopal. You will have few questions for practice.